The screens in the underground command center flashed the same grim warning repeatedly. Tamman Park stood before the main display, his palms pressed firmly against the cold metal table. The alien fleet's words scorched his mind. Surrender now, or die. Around him, dozens of personnel worked silently at their stations. The room hummed with focused activity, yet everyone knew the storm approaching. Above them, 300 meters of reinforced concrete and steel shielded them from the surface world. Here, in humanity's deepest bunker, Earth's leaders faced their final decision. Don Kim approached Tai-In, clutching a datapad in both hands. Her expression remained calm, though her knuckles were white from gripping it too tightly. "The alien fleet is larger than we anticipated," she murmured. "Our long-range scans detect nearly 3,000 ships. They call themselves the Cathari Hegemony." Tai-Min nodded slowly. For 2 decades, he had served as Earth's top diplomat, negotiating with aliens from 12 different worlds. He had mastered languages, studied cultures, and sought peace among the stars. Nothing had succeeded. "They think we're weak," he said quietly. "They see humans as just another primitive species to crush. Perhaps we should tell them the truth," Dawn suggested. Tai-Min shook his head. "Not yet. We've given them every chance for peace, trade, alliances, sharing knowledge. They chose war instead." Across the room, a door hissed open. Admiral Hyun-Woo Lee entered, clad in his dark blue uniform. Unlike the others, he appeared calm, almost exhilarated. "The evacuation is complete," Hyun-Woo announced. "Every major city is empty. Our people are secure in deep shelters." "How much time do we have?" Tamman asked. 72 hours, Dawn replied, checking her datapad. That's what their ultimatum stated. Surrender in 3 days, or the bombing begins. Hyun-Woo smiled, a chilling, confident curve of his lips. They're in for a surprise. The three had worked together for 15 years, preparing for a day they had hoped would never arrive, yet bracing for it all the same. Dawn ran the Quantum Defense Initiative, Earth's most secretive research program. Hyun-Woo commanded fleets that officially didn't exist. Tamman had spent decades mastering everything possible about humanity's enemies. "Send the message," Hyun-Woo ordered. "Let's see if they're clever enough to listen." Tamman moved to the communications station. The young officer there, Ya-Jin-Oh, looked up at him, worry etched across her face. "Open a channel to all," he instructed. Alien frequencies crackled through the comm arrays. "Maximum power," Tamman ordered. "I want every ship in their fleet to hear this." "Channel open, sir," Ya-Jin-Oh replied. Tamman inhaled deeply. This would be humanity's final plea for peace. After this, there would be no turning back. "This is Tamman Park, speaking for the people of Earth," he began. "We have received your ultimatum. We have considered your demands. Our answer is no." He paused, imagining the alien commanders scattered across their massive fleet, likely laughing at him. "You believe humans are weak. You believe our world is defenseless. You believe we will beg for mercy when your weapons appear in our skies. You are wrong on all counts." Another pause. The entire command center had gone silent, every eye fixed on him. "For 20 years, we have sought peace between our peoples. We offered friendship, trade, and cooperation. You chose war instead. We warned you this path would lead to destruction. You would not listen." Tamman's voice hardened. "This is humanity's final warning. Turn your fleets around, leave our solar system, never return. This is the last mercy we will offer." He gestured to Ya-Jin, who cut the transmission. Silence fell over the room, thick and heavy. Everyone knew what came next. Dawn's datapad beeped urgently. She scanned it quickly, then shook her head. "The alien fleet commander is responding, and he's laughing at us." "What did he say?" Tai-Min asked. "Primitive humans speak of mercy while hiding in caves like frightened animals. We see no weapons. We see no fleet. Only a dying world soon to belong to the hegemony. Yun-Woo chuckled. They really don't get it, do they? No, Tai Min agreed. They don't. The Admiral moved to his command station, placing his hand on a red panel. The system scanned his palm, iris, and even took a small blood sample. Finally, it requested a voice print. Admiral Hun-Woo Lee authorizing Protocol Ghostlight. Humanity's enemies have been warned. They have chosen their fate. The panel flashed green. Across the solar system, hidden machinery stirred to life. On the moon's dark side, decades-old research stations revealed their true purpose. In the asteroid belt, mining rigs abandoned their metals for something far deadlier. Bases on Mars, Europa's ice caverns, and remote outposts across the outer planets activated humanity's secret defenses. Dune's eyes lit up at her monitors. Quantum displacement arrays are online, reality distortion fields are charging, dimensional anchor points are locked. How long until they're within firing range of Earth? Tammin asked. 48 hours, Ya-Jin answered. But sir, they're not heading straight for Earth. Long-range scans show movement toward Mars first. Hyun-Woo laughed. They want to destroy our outer colonies before striking the homeworld, show us how helpless we are, killing our people slowly. That's their mistake. One of many, Tammin said, surveying the command center. Every person here knew the truth the galaxy was about to discover. Humanity was not the weak, primitive species others believed. For over 2 centuries, they had studied alien cultures, learned every weakness, and prepared for the day someone forced them to fight. That day had arrived. All stations, this is your final briefing, Tammin announced. In less than 48 hours, the Cathari hegemony will discover what happens when you threaten humanity's children. They will learn why we tried to avoid this war. And they will understand too late that mercy was never weakness. He turned to the main display, watching the alien fleet advance toward Mars. They think they're hunters, he murmured to Dawn and Hyun-Woo. They're about to meet their prey. Above them, Earth's cities lay empty and silent, yet far from unprotected. Beneath every major population center, weapons defying every law the aliens understood waited patiently. In space, the Cathari fleet pressed forward, confident in their superior numbers and technology. Their commanders joked about the humans who dared threaten them with words. They had no idea everything they thought they knew about humanity was a lie. The war was about to begin, but the war would not unfold as the Cathari expected. Commander Calivan stood on the bridge of his flagship, the World Breaker, watching the primitive solar system grow larger on the displays. Behind him, nearly 3,000 warships stretched across space in flawless formation. The largest fleet the Cathari hegemony had ever assembled. Fleet status report, he commanded. His second officer, a tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 arms, stepped forward. All ships report ready, Commander. Bombardment vessels are armed with planet killer weapons. Assault troops prepped for ground operations. Calivan nodded, confident. Humanity had no real space fleet. Their largest weapons, primitive nuclear missiles, could barely reach orbit. Their technology lagged centuries behind even the weakest members of the hegemony. Have they responded to our ultimatum? He asked. Only threats and empty warnings, Commander. They claim to possess defenses beyond our understanding. Typical primitive bravado when faced with superior force. The commander laughed. Of course they're scared. Their extinction is imminent. Near Neptune's orbit, the first alien scouts collected detailed readings. Everything appeared exactly as expected. A quiet system, a single inhabited planet. No significant military presence, and technology so backward it was almost laughable. But on Luna, Earth's moon, so Roy watched those scouts intently. She sat in a control room that officially didn't exist. Public records claimed it was a lunar research station studying moon rocks. In truth, it was the nerve center for humanity's most advanced defense systems. Alien scouts approaching Neptune, she reported into her headset. Running active scans on everything. Let them look, came Admiral Hyun-Woo Lee's reply from Earth. They won't see anything we don't want them to see. Sora smiled. The aliens were thorough, but their sensors were designed to detect technology they understood. Quantum dimensional engineering was beyond their comprehension. Around her, dozens of technicians monitored the entire solar system. Every asteroid, every planet, every speck of space dust was cataloged. Most importantly, every alien ship had been marked and targeted. Phase 1 camouflage was engaged. Humanity's real defenses vanished from view. Planet-destroying weapon platforms, folded out of normal space. Entire fleets phased into dimensions alien sensors could not detect. The intruders saw exactly what they expected. Nothing. Deep in the asteroid belt, Jin Ho Nam oversaw humanity's most secret weapon. The facility appeared as a mining station, complete with ore processors and transport ships. But hidden at the center of a massive asteroid, Jin Ho worked on a system that would terrify any alien commander. Quantum displacement array online, he reported. All-dimensional anchor point stable. We can now move anything up to the size of a small moon into pocket universes. His assistant, Hai Jin, glanced nervously. Are we really going to do this? Make their ships disappear? Only if they force us, Jin Ho replied. But yes, if they attack Earth, we'll erase them from existence. Meanwhile, the alien fleet advanced toward Mars. Calivan had chosen to obliterate humanity's outer colonies first, making Earth watch. What happened? Calivan demanded. Unknown, Commander. Sensors show direct hits but no damage to enemy installations. He ordered fire again, the same result. Weapons capable of shattering moons were useless against human bases. They simply disappeared. Back on Earth, Yajin monitored alien communications from her command bunker station. They're trying to bomb Mars, she reported to Admiral Hyun-Woo. Weapons aren't working. Good, the Admiral said. Their reaction? Confusion. Fleet Commander is angry, ordering more ships closer for a direct attack. Perfect, Hyun-Woo replied. The closer they get, the easier this becomes. What the aliens didn't realize, Mars's space was no longer normal. Human quantum engineers had altered the laws of physics in the region. Energy weapons dissolved. Projectiles were redirected into parallel dimensions. Mars was fully protected by science beyond alien imagination. Calivan's frustration grew. Send the assault fleet forward. Use kinetic weapons. They must have some shield we don't understand. 200 alien warships broke from the main fleet, accelerating toward Mars. Weapons designed to crush any shield technology in existence were aimed at humanity's colonies. Surely the primitive humans couldn't stop a direct physical assault. They were about to discover how catastrophically wrong they were on a hidden base inside Mars. Moons away, bomb limbs ran final diagnostics on humanity's artificial intelligence network. The AI she had designed surpassed anything in the known galaxy. It processed faster than biological minds, analyzed thousands of data streams simultaneously, and made tactical decisions in microseconds. AI network fully online, she reported. All autonomous defense systems ready. Weapons free, Admiral Hyun-Woo's voice echoed. Show them what happens when human colonies are threatened. The AI seized control of every defense system across the solar system. It calculated the position, speed, and trajectory of each alien vessel, analyzed shields, weapons, and weaknesses, and crafted individualized attack plans in under a second. Then, it executed them. The first signs of chaos appeared when alien ships began reporting impossible sensor readings. Navigation systems showed them traversing spaces that shouldn't exist. Some detected multiple copies of their own fleet occupying the same location. Commander, an officer shouted aboard the flagship. Assault fleet reporting severe sensor malfunctions. Formation cannot be maintained. Calivan studied his displays. Human colonies on Mars remained intact despite continuous bombardment. His ships were scattered, crews reporting that space itself seemed distorted. "What kind of technology are these humans using?" he muttered. The answer came swiftly. The first alien ship simply vanished. One moment it transmitted status reports. The next, it was gone. No explosion, no debris, no energy signature. Just nothing. Then a second. Then a third. "All ships report status," Calivan barked into his communicator. "Commander, this is impossible," came a panicked reply. The Dreadclaw just disappeared. "Sensors show nothing where it was." Fear rippled through the alien fleet. They were facing an enemy they couldn't see, wielding weapons they couldn't comprehend, in a battle that defied every rule they knew. And humanity was only beginning. Minu Kang monitored the Tactical Coordination Center, dozens of screens displaying alien movements. Each display tracked ships, analyzed weapons, and calculated precisely how to make them vanish. "Alien Vanguard entering Neptune's orbit," he reported. 300 ships, standard attack formation. Around him, 20 technicians manned. Quantum manipulation consoles, each controlling reality-bending fields capable of altering the laws of physics in localized space. Humanity's crowning scientific achievement, 50 years in secret development, Phase 1. "Quantum fields ready," one operator reported. "We can displace the entire Vanguard into dimensional storage." "Not yet," Minu Kang replied. "Let them get closer. Admiral's orders. Make this look impossible, not just effective." Above Earth, Yunji Yun prepared for her first combat mission in humanity's most advanced fighter. From the outside, it seemed a sleek, simple craft. Perhaps a courier or transport, but appearances deceived. Her fighter existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, phasing between layers of reality, invisible to all known sensors while still able to strike targets in normal space. "Phantom 1, cleared for launch," her flight controller said. "Understood. Beginning phase shift approach to enemy formation," Yunji responded. She activated the dimensional drive. Reality warped around her as the fighter slipped between the normal universe and parallel dimensions with altered physics. She remained in position, yet existed in a space alien sensors could not detect. The alien Vanguard pressed toward Neptune, oblivious that they were flying straight into a trap humanity had meticulously prepared over decades. Prepared for decades. Commander Calivan was reviewing reports from his advanced scouts when the impossible began. At first, it appeared to be simple equipment failures. "Sir, the Star Ripper reports severe navigation errors," his communications officer announced. "Bending. What does that mean?" Calivan asked. "Unknown, Commander. Instruments show impossible readings. Distances don't match visual observations." Before he could respond, another alert came in. "The World Eater requests immediate support. It reports existing in 2 locations simultaneously." A chill ran down Calivan's spine. These were no technical malfunctions. Something was actively interfering with his fleet. In the Quantum Coordination Center, Minsuk watched the aliens' confusion with satisfaction. "Reality distortion fields functioning perfectly," he reported. "The enemy cannot trust their instruments. Begin Phase 2 operations." He turned to an operator. "Start with ship number 47, full dimensional displacement." The technician focused on a single vessel. With meticulous precision, she altered the quantum structure of space surrounding the enemy ship. From the alien perspective, the results were horrifying. The targeted heavy cruiser, Bone Crusher, was suddenly encircled by swirling patterns of light that burned the eyes. Space around the vessel twisted and folded like molten liquid. Slowly, inevitably, the ship began to sink into the folds, as if space itself had become quicksand. "Bone Crusher, report your status," Calivan demanded over the comm system. "Commander, we're falling through space. Hull intact but sinking into some kind of dimensional pocket, requesting immediate assistance." There was no assistance to offer. The cruiser continued to descend into folded space until it vanished entirely from normal reality. It wasn't destroyed. It had simply been relocated to another dimension. Panic rippled through the alien fleet. Yunji, still piloting her phased fighter through the enemy formation, monitored their comms. Fear, confusion, and disbelief filled their voices. She knew it was time to escalate the impossible. She brought her fighter into normal space, appearing directly among 3 alien vessels. For a few moments, they detected her on sensors. Then, just as they targeted her, she phased back into dimensional storage, reappearing in a completely different location. To the aliens, it looked as though she had teleported thousands of kilometers. Instantly, unknown human vessel detected, one alien captain reported. It vanished and reappeared across our formation. Impossible, Calivan snapped. No technology allows instantaneous teleportation. Sir, it's happening again, another officer panicked. The human ship is appearing and disappearing. All around us. Yunji grinned. She phased in and out of normal space repeatedly, appearing long enough to be noticed, then vanishing. Sometimes she materialized inside defensive formations, sometimes directly above the largest ships. Once, she briefly shared the same location as an alien vessel before disappearing again. The psychological effect was devastating. Alien crews began to believe they were fighting ghosts, but Bomb Lim was just getting started. From her hidden control station on the moon, she activated the AI network's psychological warfare protocols. Years of studying alien psychology paid off. The AI now projected terrifying visions directly into enemy minds. Suddenly, alien crews throughout the Vanguard began seeing things that should not exist. Massive human warships. Massive human vessels appeared on their screens, ships impossibly large, bristling with weapons that seemed to bend reality itself. Some aliens saw entire fleets of thousands surrounding them. Others perceived arms that fired pure darkness or beams crystallized from time itself. None of it existed, yet alien minds could not distinguish illusion from reality. "Commander!" A panicked transmission crackled from the heavy cruiser Deathbringer. "We're surrounded by human dreadnoughts. They dwarf our flagship." "I see nothing on sensors," Kelvan replied. "They're right there. Look at your display." Kelvan's monitors showed only empty space. The psychological warfare programs targeted individual ships with customized hallucinations, and more vessels reported impossible sights. Some claimed weapons fired backward through time. Others insisted human ships were attacking from inside their own hulls. Terror spread faster than any weapon. Menak decided it was time to escalate. "Begin mass displacement operations. Take out 50 ships simultaneously." Across the alien vanguard, reality began to collapse in carefully controlled ways. Space folded, twisted, and reshaped around dozens of enemy vessels. Some ships were displaced into dimensions where time flowed backward. Others vanished into pocket universes, existing alone in infinite emptiness. A few were sent to realities where physics broke down, engines failed, weapons jammed, life support collapsed. Within 10 minutes, 50 alien warships had vanished from normal space. Kelvan stared at his tactical display in horror. Ship after ship disappeared. No explosions, no debris, no transmissions. Just gone. All ships, fall back to secondary positions. Maintain. "Defensive formation," he ordered. It was too late. Formations and tactics were meaningless. Remaining ships were scattered across a vast region. Crews panicked, firing randomly at empty space or ignoring communications entirely. The vanguard of 300 was down to fewer than 200, and still dropping. From Earth, Admiral Hyun-Woo Lee watched with grim satisfaction. "Status report," he requested. "The enemy vanguard is completely disrupted," Minsuk replied. "Formation collapsed. Individual ships attempting retreat, but quantum locks prevent escape. Casualties on our side, 0. "Admiral, we haven't even deployed the main fleet yet." The Admiral nodded. "Continue the demonstration. Let their main fleet witness what happened to their scouts. The message was unmistakable. Humanity possessed technology that rendered conventional warfare obsolete. Enemy ships could vanish without a single conventional weapon fired. Attacks could come from dimensions unknown to the aliens. Space itself could be wielded as a weapon. And this was only the beginning. The aliens were about to learn that humanity's mercy, the thing that had kept them alive, was officially over. The main fleet halted its advance toward Earth. Commander Calivan stared at his tactical displays, seeing the scattered remnants of his vanguard. Half of the 300 ships were gone. The rest reported impossible phenomena, begging for retreat orders. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Hegemony High Council," his communications officer announced. A hologram appeared at the bridge's center. Zealer, the most powerful leader in the alien coalition, glared down at Calivan. His scaled face twisted in fury. "Commander Kion," Zealer demanded, "explain how a primitive species destroyed half of your advanced force." "High Counselor," Calivan admitted, "the humans possess technology beyond our understanding. They can make our ships disappear, attack from invisible positions, and use weapons that seem to violate the laws of physics." "Impossible. Our intelligence reports show human technology centuries behind our own." "Our intelligence was wrong, sir," Calivan said. The hologram flickered as Zealer considered the report. Finally, he commanded, "Use all force necessary to crush these humans. If they have new weapons, capture them for the hegemony, but do not return without total victory." The transmission ended, leaving Kaon alone with his fears. On Earth, deep within the command bunkers, Wu Jin coordinated humanity's response. As master strategist for Earth's defenses, he had spent 30 years preparing for this exact moment. "Status report on enemy fleet positioning," he requested. Haran Jang, chief engineer of the Quantum Displacement Systems, glanced up from her console. "The main alien force has halted approximately 200 million kilometers from Earth. They're regrouping, analyzing what happened to their scouts." "Perfect," Wu Jin said. "They're exactly where we want them." Wu Jin had overseen the design of the solar system's defenses over decades of secret planning. Every asteroid, planet, and speck of space dust was meticulously positioned to form the ultimate trap. The aliens believed they were retreating safely. They were actually entering the kill zone. Begin Phase 3. Operations. Activate the main displacement array, he ordered. Deep in the asteroid belt, massive quantum manipulation devices roared to life. Unlike the small targeted systems used against the Vanguard, these were planet-sized weapons capable of altering reality across vast swaths of space. Haran's hands danced across the control panel with practiced precision. "Main array charging. We can now displace objects up to the size of small moons. Target selection. Start with their command ships. Neutralize the leadership." What followed would have been impossible to explain by any science the aliens understood. Space around the fleet began to shift, not visibly, but at the quantum level, where matter, energy, and reality intersect. Cathari sensors produced nonsense readings. Instruments indicated ships were simultaneously traveling through solid matter and the vacuum of space or underwater. Then, the disappearances began. Kelvon studied his tactical displays when his flagship's sister vessel, the Planet Eater, simply vanished. One moment it transmitted status updates, the next every trace of the dreadnought was gone. "Where did the Planet Eater go?" he demanded. "Unknown, Commander. All sensors report empty space." Before anyone could respond, 3 more ships vanished, then 5, then an entire squadron of 20 within 10 seconds. "All ships evasive maneuvers," Kelvon shouted. "Scatter formation. Don't maintain predictable flight patterns." It was useless. Human quantum weapons could target any ship anywhere in the solar system with absolute precision. The aliens could scatter, hide behind planets, or flee to the system's edge. None of it mattered. The AI network, controlled by Bomb Lim, tracked every vessel at quantum-level accuracy. It knew each ship's current location, trajectory, and predicted position minutes ahead. The AI anticipated alien movements better than the aliens themselves. Enemy fleet attempting to scatter, Bomb reported from her lunar control station. AI tactical analysis indicates they are trying to make targeting difficult. Let them try, Wu Jin replied. Show them that distance doesn't matter when you can fold space. Alien vessels fleeing in opposite directions vanished. Simultaneously, ships hiding behind Mars were erased in its shadow. Those fleeing toward Jupiter disappeared before reaching the gas giant. The psychological impact on survivors was devastating. Meanwhile, Jiwan Park executed the next phase of humanity's psychological warfare. From her command station, she accessed detailed files on every alien species in the hegemony. Humanity had studied these species for over 200 years, their fears, weaknesses, and cultural triggers. Now, Jiwan weaponized that knowledge, broadcasting personalized terror directly into alien minds. Each species received messages designed to exploit its deepest vulnerabilities. The reptilian Cathari, terrified of being consumed by larger predators. Predators, the Cathari, began seeing visions of massive creatures with human faces devouring their ships. The insectoid Vexari, terrified of parasites, hallucinated tiny humans crawling inside their hulls, consuming them from within. The most devastating attacks targeted individual alien officers. Humanity's intelligence network knew the names, families, and personal histories of thousands of enemy personnel. Jiwan exploited this knowledge with precision. Captain Tholmas of the Deathbringer was one target. A message broadcast directly into his mind. We know about your mate and children on Kathra Prime. We know their names, locations, and routines. Surrender now, or they will share your fate in non-existence. The effect was instantaneous. Tholmas, a veteran who had conquered dozens of worlds, broke down completely. He began transmitting surrender messages on all frequencies, pleading for the safety of his family. But the most terrifying revelation was yet to come. Tethmar Kelvon, second in command, was analyzing the attacks when he made a chilling discovery. Humans had knowledge that should have been impossible to obtain: secret military projects, classified family information, even private conversations aboard sealed command ships. Commander, Tethmar said slowly, I think there are humans among us. What do you mean? The psychological warfare contains information only obtainable from inside our own command structure. Details about officers' lives, secret plans, classified research. Humans have been embedded within our society. Kelvon felt an icy fear. How long? Decades, maybe centuries. They could be anyone. Communications officers, tactical advisors, engineers. We cannot identify which of our people are actually humans in disguise. Paranoia swept through the fleet. Officers began suspecting their crewmates. Discipline collapsed. Some ships reported mutinies as crews turned on each other. Meanwhile, Harren completed charging the quantum displacement array to full power. Ready for mass fleet displacement, she reported to Wu Jin. Target entire main battle group, 500 ships, initiating reality fold. Space around the alien fleet began collapsing, not physically but dimensionally. The laws of physics ceased to function across a massive volume surrounding the enemy ships. 500 alien vessels, including some of the largest warships ever built, began sinking into folded reality like stones into water. The process was slow enough for crews to comprehend, but too fast to escape. Calivan watched in horror as his main battle force vanished. Ship after ship disappeared into dimensional folds. Thousands of crew lost instantly. Desperate, he opened a communication channel to Earth. Humans of Earth, I am Commander Kelvon of the Cathari Hegemony. I demand to know what weapons you are using. This is impossible. The reply came from Admiral Yun Wu Li himself. Commander Kelvon, you were warned. You were told to leave our system. Instead, you threatened our world. Now you are learning the consequences. But how? How are you doing this? Our technology should surpass yours. Hyun Woo's voice remained calm, cold. Our technology exceeds what you believed was human technology. You have been thoroughly deceived about humanity's true capabilities. At that exact moment, when the alien fleet was at its breaking point, the same transmission appeared on every screen across the galaxy. Every ship, every world displayed the image of a single human man in simple dark clothing, standing in an ordinary room. But Sang-Woo Kim was far from ordinary. He was Earth's supreme military commander, a position kept secret for over a century. Today, he revealed himself to the galaxy. Galaxy-wide, Sang-Woo Kim appeared on every screen for the first time. "People of the galaxy," he began, voice steady and commanding. "I am Sang-Woo Kim speaking for the human race. For 2 centuries you have regarded us as primitive, confined to one small world. Today, that deception ends." On his flagship, Commander Calivan watched in mounting horror. Half of his crew were revealed as human agents, the rest froze in disbelief. "You have wondered how humans can make your ships vanish," Sang-Woo continued. "You have asked how we attack from dimensions you cannot detect. You have demanded to know how we learned so much about your cultures and weaknesses. The answer is simple. We have been among you all along." The screen shifted, displaying star maps of the galaxy. Thousands of blinking lights revealed human presence on worlds throughout known space. "For 2 centuries, humans have lived among you," Sang-Woo explained. "We have been your neighbors, colleagues, friends. We mastered your languages, studied your cultures, and understood your technologies better than you do yourselves." Myung-han, chief scientist of the Human Collective Research Division, appeared beside him. Holographic displays illustrated achievements that defied everything the galaxy thought possible. "We have not hidden because we are weak," Myung said. "We hid because we are far beyond your development. Revealing ourselves earlier would have stunted your civilizations." The displays showed human ships existing in multiple dimensions, weapons capable of rewriting local physics, and transport systems moving entire planets between stars. "But some of you chose war over peace," Myung continued. "You decided primitive humans should be conquered. Now you see who we truly are." Near Jupiter, Captain Jae-hyun Cho received the signal he had awaited for decades. For 30 years, he commanded a ship that officially didn't exist. Today, humanity's secret fleet would emerge. "All ships, this is Admiral Jae-hyun," he broadcast over human frequencies. "Operation Revelation is active. Reveal our true fleet across the solar system and throughout the galaxy." Reality shifted. Massive human warships hidden in parallel dimensions phased into normal space. These vessels defied known science. Some existed in multiple time streams simultaneously, others folded space around themselves to alter size. A few appeared constructed, from pure energy solidified into form. Calivan stared at his tactical displays, disbelief etched on his face. Not hundreds, thousands of human ships appeared. Not just in Earth's system, but across the galaxy. "This is impossible," he whispered. "No, Commander," replied Dong-min Park, his tactical officer and human agent. "This is what happens. When a species has 200 years to prepare for a war, they knew would come." The revelation spread across the galaxy. On dozens of alien worlds, citizens suddenly revealed themselves as human observers. Government officials, military leaders, scientists, even family friends had been humans studying societies from within. On the Cathari capital of Kathra Prime, Zephylar received reports that shattered everything he believed. "High Counselor," his aide said, "we have confirmations throughout the hegemony. Humans have been living among us everywhere. Estimates suggest up to 10% of our population may be human agents." Zephylar couldn't comprehend it. "Sir, it's worse," the aide continued. "Analysis of their technology shows they are at least 1,000 years ahead scientifically. They could have conquered the galaxy at any time." The scope of humanity's deception became clear. Every major scientific breakthrough of the past century had been subtly guided by human agents, every war, treaty, and significant event influenced by human observers. Humanity had shepherded galactic civilization like vigilant parents, until now, when the children forced the parents to intervene directly. Back on Earth, Admiral Haiyan-Wu Li coordinated the final phase. Human fleets appeared at every major alien world, not as invaders but as witnesses. "Status report on alien fleet response," he requested. "Complete surrender, Admiral," his tactical officer replied. "Surviving ships request ceasefire and unconditional surrender. Mass panic on homeworlds. Several governments are requesting immediate diplomatic contact. The Hegemony High Council seeks formal surrender negotiations." Hyun-Woo nodded. Everything was unfolding as planned. This demonstration wasn't about destroying the fleet. It was about revealing humanity's true nature and ensuring future peace. By showing humans had lived among alien populations for generations, they made it clear that conquest had never been humanity's aim. If humans had sought to rule the galaxy, they could have done so centuries ago. "Open a channel to the surviving alien ships," Haiyan-Wu ordered. Commander Calivan's communication system activated, displaying Admiral Hyun-Woo on screen. "Commander, you and your surviving ships may return to your home worlds. You will not be pursued or attacked. Your crew members who are human agents will remain to explain the situation to your leadership." Calivan spoke slowly, still processing the events. "What do you want from us?" "Nothing, Commander," Hyun-Woo replied. "We never sought anything except to be left alone. You forced this conflict by threatening our world, but if we had wanted to, we could have conquered the galaxy." "Admiral." Hyun-Woo's expression softened with a sad smile. "Commander, 200 years ago, conquest could have been ours, but conquest has never been our goal." The channel closed, leaving Calivan to contemplate the enormity of what humanity had chosen. They had possessed power to dominate the galaxy for centuries, yet they had hidden, observed, and guided quietly. They revealed themselves only to protect their home world. In the Earth Command Center, Tamman Park prepared the next phase of human diplomacy. "Admiral, we're receiving surrender requests from 47 alien governments," he reported. "Grant them access," Haiyan-Woo replied. "But make it clear, surrender isn't required. We are not conquerors." Tamman paused. "Then what are we, sir?" The Admiral considered. "We are teachers, Tamman. Always have been. For 2 centuries, we've guided galactic development, helping younger civilizations avoid the mistakes that lead to perpetual war. Now we stop hiding. Now we work openly to build a galaxy where conflicts like this do not happen. Across space, human vessels broadcast the same message to every alien ship and inhabited world. This is humanity. We reveal ourselves not as conquerors, but as guides. We have watched your civilizations grow, learned from your achievements, and mourned your conflicts. Today begins a new era of cooperation. Those who choose peace will find humanity their greatest ally. Those who choose war will find us their most implacable opponents. The choice, as always, is yours. The era of hidden human influence was over. The era of open galactic cooperation had begun. 6 months after the failed invasion of Earth, Dong Hun-Yun stood in the center of the former Hegemony Council chamber. The massive dome on Kathra Prime had been redesigned to host representatives from hundreds of species, not just the 12 of the old alliance. As Earth's first galactic commissioner, Dong Hun bore the responsibility of defining humanity's new role. It was unlike any role anyone had expected. "The Terran Galactic Covenant recognizes the sovereignty of all member worlds," he announced. "Humanity claims no territory beyond our solar system. We seek no tribute, no slaves, no resources. What we offer is knowledge," Dong Hun continued. "Technology to heal war-torn worlds. medical advances to extend life, transportation systems that make the distance between stars irrelevant. Valara, former second-in-command of the Cathari military, raised a forearm to speak. Commissioner, Yun, it is difficult for my people to believe humans seek nothing in return. Superior species always demand submission from lesser ones. Dong-hun smiled. Commander Valara, that is the mindset we aim to change. Humanity has long known cooperation, achieves more than domination. When species work together, all benefit. The transformation was not simple. In the months after the invasion, some governments collapsed from the shock of realizing how thoroughly humans had infiltrated and observed them. Others, like Valara's reformed Cathari administration, embraced the opportunity to learn from humanity. On Earth, Sujin Lee oversaw the largest educational initiative in galactic history. The Interspecies Rehabilitation Program helped alien civilizations abandon warlike traditions and cultivate peaceful alternatives. Status report on cultural exchange initiatives, she asked her staff. Excellent, her assistant replied. Human instructors are now active on 47 alien worlds. Student exchange programs operate with 19 species. Resistance is minimal. Most alien citizens are fascinated by human culture and technology. The main challenge is managing demand for human instruction. The program was reciprocal. Humans shared knowledge of cooperation, conflict resolution, and advanced sciences, while alien cultures introduced humanity to unprecedented art forms, philosophies, and ways of understanding the universe. Humanity's influence was spreading beyond technology and defense. Across the galaxy, humans were teaching species to think differently, to expand understanding, to explore scientific perspectives shaped by completely different evolutionary paths. Earth itself became more diverse and vibrant than at any time in human history. In the depths of space, Young-ho Kim commanded the Terran peacekeeping forces, tasked not with waging war, but preventing it. Admiral, we're receiving reports of a territorial dispute between the Vectari and the Thelkon near the Riel system, his tactical officer reported. Dispatch the mediation fleet, Young-ho ordered. Standard peaceful intervention protocols. When the human ships arrived, they bore no weapons. Diplomats, cultural experts, and advanced holographic technologies accompanied them. Using matter conversion devices, the humans demonstrated the futility of conflict. They replicated the contested asteroid belt, then created additional belts, producing enough resources to satisfy both civilizations for centuries. The problem, the human mediator explained, was never scarcity. It was thinking in terms of limitation rather than abundance. Across the galaxy, similar lessons were repeated. On Earth, Tamman Park faced the greatest challenge of all, dealing with species that still refuse to trust humanity. The Zorkoni Collective persists in skepticism, he reported. They claim humans secretly seek conquest. What proof do they offer? Admiral Haiyan Wu asked. None that makes sense. They cannot believe any species could grow as powerful as humanity without developing aggression. Are they threatening anyone? The Admiral asked. Not yet. But they are, forming defensive alliances with others who share their doubts. Paranoia could become a problem. Haiyan Wu considered this. Let them. Some must witness the results of cooperation before they believe it. So long as they harm no one, their suspicion is their right. This measured restraint became the ultimate proof of human intent. Even humanity's critics began to recognize the sincerity of their approach. The Clarani Empire, long among humanity's most vocal skeptics, faced disaster when their sun's instability threatened to render their homeworld uninhabitable within 50 years. Lacking the technology or resources to act, they watched as humanity dispatched a fleet equipped to stabilize the star. The 6-month operation required resources surpassing the total output of most civilizations. Humanity requested nothing in return. When Clarth Prime's sun stabilized, the Clarani Emperor broadcast a message to the galaxy. We have long accused humans of disguised conquest. Today, we have learned that they are peacekeepers who could have been conquerors. True strength is the mercy exercised when you have the power to do otherwise. Progress was not instantaneous. Some civilizations needed generations to abandon warlike traditions. Others struggled to adapt to abundance after lifetimes of scarcity. Yet transformation was underway. On the former hegemony capital world, children from dozens of species played together in integrated schools, learning mathematics from human teachers, art from Vectari masters, philosophy from Cathari scholars, and music from species that communicated through sound. These children would grow up in a galaxy where cooperation was normal and collaboration replaced competition. A decade after the failed invasion, Tamman Park reviewed reports from across the galaxy. Trade between civilizations had surged 300%, armed conflicts were at historic lows, and scientific breakthroughs accelerated as knowledge was shared freely rather than hoarded. "Admiral," he asked Haiyan Wu, preparing to retire, "did we make the right choice revealing ourselves the way we did?" The old admiral paused. "Tamman, for 2 centuries we watched civilizations destroy themselves in unnecessary conflict. We prevented some wars, but could not halt the cycle as long as we remained hidden. Now, children from warlike species are learning cooperation is possible. Now, enemies millennia old are collaborating on joint projects. Now, the galaxy is becoming what we always hoped it could be." Haiyan Wu gestured toward the displays showing peaceful activity across known space. "We could have conquered the galaxy centuries ago. We could have ruled through fear, but ruling is not leading. Leaders help others grow. Rulers demand obedience. We chose to be leaders, to be teachers. And finally, our students are learning there is a better way than constant conflict." In schools across the galaxy, young beings learned the motto of the Terran Galactic Covenant. Strength without wisdom is destruction. Wisdom without compassion is emptiness. But strength, wisdom, and compassion together can heal worlds and build futures. It was a lesson humanity had learned over centuries, and now it was being shared with the stars. The galaxy would never be the same, and for the first time in recorded history, that was something every species could celebrate together.